Welcome everybody to Frantic Nerdcast, episode number 56.
God, 56.
I feel it in my bones.
Wow.
That's awesome to be still doing this after 56. For something that we started on a whim, to be now up to episode 56, kicking along, still having as much fun as we are.
Bringing in new
oath.
panel members, it's been great.
It started...
still probationary panel member. Thank you.
10-year probation, mate.
I look forward to it.
If we get to 10 years,
Episode
fuck yeah.
922, you're off probation.
What is it? Doing this till he's 90?
Yeah.
Mate, it's fun. I'll do it.
Look, welcome everybody. We're back again to bring you a few of the nerdy things that we love to talk about. We'll touch on, what are we doing this week? We're going to have a little chat about Daredevil because we've got episode 1 and 2, which is dropped. A bit of a chat about some comics like we usually do, and we'll throw some other shit in there like we like to ramble on as...
Yeah, we'll just keep it as frantic as always.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, well, one thing I want to talk about right now, before I forget, because I've forgotten the last 2 episodes to talk about this, and it's very, very exciting for miniature war gamers out there, especially anime fans that are as well. A long time ago now, a game came out by Ninja Division and Soda Pop Miniatures called Relic Knights.
Oh,
Now, Relic Knights is a diceless system. It uses cards, very kind of like Malifaux, but not like Malifaux. So basically, you get a deck of cards, and each card has 2 colors on it. One big color, so a big symbol, and a small color. And essentially, your big ones are worth 2, your small ones are worth 1. And all your actions have like, you need to pay 2 yellow, 1 red, 1 blue to do kind of thing when you activate it, right? And so you have to play those cards from your hand. And the beautiful thing is when you activate a model, that model will give you, like, when you activate it, you get to draw 3 cards for that to add to your hand kind of thing and play along with that. Really, really good system. Also, one of my favorite things of it is when you deploy, there's no, this is my side, that's your side, this is my deploy area, this is your deploy. Deploy wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
As long as you're X amount of inches away from another model, you can just deploy wherever you want.
Yeah, there's another system I
Really,
saw that had
really
that.
good.
It's definitely allows things to be a lot more chaotic early, which is good.
Now, this, lots of other good features we won't talk about, but this game died pretty much upon release. It was a Kickstarter, early days of Kickstarter, and then they brought it back for a second edition. Because the rules weren't great when it first came out. It had this stupid Tableau activation system that it wasn't great. But the second version, very, very good.
It is good
it's
fun.
a great game. Now, the downside of this is it was done by Kickstarter as well, by Ninja Division. If none of you have heard of Ninja Division, that is because they went bankrupt before the game was released.
I think I remember you telling me about this. There was issues with it coming out then or something?
Yes. So they were pretty much like, they put out a thing saying, okay, backers, we're broke. We can't afford to release the game. We're sorry. And then they went through all this other stuff and they're like, okay, what we're going to try and do is we're going to make these masterclass minis, they call them, and we'll sell them. And any profits from that we're going to use to try and make the miniatures and slowly trickle out the Kickstarter stuff to you. But the only condition is you have to buy something, and anything we have from the Kickstarter will send you in that delivery. And now that
was a long time ago.
Yeah,
too.
I got a couple of minis and stuff from that, and I got the rule book and some cards and stuff. But they full bankrupt, gone under. But recently, within like the last month, I want to say, some company has announced. Actually, I think I might have a screenshot of it. He's bought the rights to the game.
Sweet.
And he is releasing it at Adepticon over in the States.
Yep.
And he's releasing a starter set. He said he's sorry he can't give the Kickstarter stuff. Like, that's not his thing. He's just bought the rights for the game. He will release the games. He's going to be releasing all the stuff for the Kickstarter.
So you can buy to the people who did the Kickstarter.
But he said if you were a part of the Kickstarter, you can essentially buy all those items at cost.
Right.
Which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
he didn't have to do anything like that, and he does, which is pretty cool. And then he said he's also working on creating new sculpts for the game, new minis for the game, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's back, Relic Knights.
Fuck yeah.
It's a fantastic, if you like anime, it's anime themed. So you've got like, they call them like soda pop pinup girls. or like the anime style pinup girls and stuff, and it's really, really cool minis.
Well, I am going to have to break out my grey pile of shame because there is a lot of Relic
Yeah,
Knight in that grey pile.
I pretty much had every faction except for one. I bought a whole heap of them. I bought them when they're like $50. Like no one wanted them after the first edition, and I heard the second edition was coming out, and I'm like, I'm going to buy the fuck out of this on eBay. Bought so many of them, and I sold Brock 2 of the factions for super fucking cheap, and I think I've got 2 or 3 factions with a whole heap of them unpainted, but I did paint a whole heap of them. But they're great game. So look forward to that if you're a minigame and an anime fan. Relic Knights.
Great game.
Yes.
Also, and that'll segue into what's been happening this week. I know I've got some painting done. So halfway through my Wonder Woman. So horse is done. Wonder Woman is still paintless, but we'll get there.
Yes, paint that.
I started as well. I'm in front-ish.
He's
That doesn't
undercoated.
happen often.
He's
You
undercoated.
do realise that I'll paint mine in one night, right?
Yeah, you'll paint yours onto it down here and you'll be finished by fucking tomorrow. I will not.
I could have painted it all in one night. I just was done. I was like, yep, I'm done. I'm going to go play some League of Legends instead. He called my name, so I wouldn't play that. But I got some done. Built some demons, so it was cool.
Nice.
Hobby had a win this weekend.
Yeah.
Very good.
I go through phases where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to paint some minis, and I paint the fuck out of a whole heap of minis, and then I'm like, I don't want to paint any minis more.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And also,
half painted and
I have
that's
been
it.
painting a shit ton lately with the game that we're working on. So there's a whole heap of minis being painted for that and kind of stuff as well. But there's too many fires in the irons in the fire. Is that the same? Irons in the fire.
I tend to agree with that.
I can say, though, I'm a fan of this Wonder Woman model we're painting, but I don't really want to paint Wonder Woman. There's a lot of detail, small detail in that.
A lot of skin. And
The horse, that was simple.
let's see if you can get that skin color right this time, mate.
Well, the skin color was right the first
Oh,
time.
no, that was you, wasn't it,
No, it was
Brock?
me.
No, it's him.
That was me with Superman.
Superman.
I got the skin color right the first time. I then fucked it as I tried to correct the eye and just
That's right. He had the wonky eye.
he had bung eye.
Yeah.
So
Oh god.
yeah. So the eyes I'm dreading, but I've painted everything of the horse except for its eyes.
Okay, let's get on to some fucking bullshit. All right, my first piece of stuff, which is it true? I'm keen if it is.
Yes, it is.
Apparently, the
It's
live
true.
action Hercules, which has been announced, so that is true.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa is going to play Megara.
Yeah, I did see this.
Megara.
Yeah. And for those who aren't aware, this is there's been plenty of live action Hercules, so to speak. This is a Disney live action version
live
of
action
their
Hercules. Yes.
Yeah, the live action of that animation.
Yes.
I actually have news because it happened last weekend, and I'm more bringing it up just to get your thoughts. John Cena turned heel. First time. Set a world record for the longest babyface run in wrestling history.
I
Didn't
did
he
see
start as a
this.
heel or come in as a heel or
They
something? at some
tried him
point
as a
in time?
heel and he just didn't work. He didn't go over.
Basically, since John Cena's been a mainstream thing, he's been a babyface.
Yeah.
And he's a fantastic babyface, man. He's great. He works so well. I love it because
Yeah.
he's retiring. This is his retirement run.
Oh, nice.
And I love that it just right at the end of it, it's just like, you know
And
what?
he's teamed up
Fucking
with
let's make
The
him a
Rock.
baddie.
But
So-
you know what else? He'll probably have a shitload of fun doing it as well.
Apparently being a heel in like the like all the wrestlers have said being a heel is the best.
yeah,
fun.
okay.
Yeah, because you can go out there and do whatever the
Your
fuck you
job,
want.
your job is to make the baby face look good.
Yeah.
That's your only job. You don't have to care about the crowd. You don't have to care about your image or anything. It's just as long as the baby face looks good, your job's done.
The memes have come out because ages ago there was a thing of I think it was Kane pushing Zack Ryder off the ramp in a wheelchair, and it's like John Cena, a heel John Cena as the next Make-A-Wish Foundation kid and stuff like this. Like,
Yes.
it's all coming out. But then there's interviews of him going back ages ago saying like he was meant to go heel before and like he'd recorded new music and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's been teased before, but it's full blown now. So.
I guarantee you, it's all a ploy. He's going to be a heel right until like right at the end of the retirement. He'll turn babyface.
Yeah, he'll be babyface to the end.
He'll win against The Rock or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also on that same thing, like WWE doesn't do anything by accident.
No.
They're very smart with what they do. And there was a shot of like backstage of The Rock. I think he's punching up someone or something like that.
With John Cena in the background.
No, and The Rock's there, and in the background is one of their
The trucks
the
with John
trucks.
Cena on it. Yeah.
No, it's got Stone
Stone
Cold
Cold,
Steve
yeah.
Austin and John Cena on it, and it's like they don't do anything by
Yeah,
accident.
it'll be
Stone Cold's coming back, baby.
Yeah, it'll be the teasers for WrestleMania. It'll be so John Cena's teamed up with the Rock, and it'll be like Stone Cold coming back as like the anti-establishment with Cody Rhodes and that
And
sort
on
of stuff.
on that wrestling note, the Hardy Boys are back in the WWE
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, really?
They came in for a match on the NXT.
So TNA.
'Cause I thought they got like proper like you are not coming back.
Jeff did.
Yeah.
Because Jeff got hardcore into drugs,
Yeah.
got
For about the
sober.
fourth time
They
on
came
WWE,
back.
yeah.
He got into drugs again. he got
Yeah,
fired
okay.
again, blah, blah, blah. But
Sure.
I think he's
So
back for a while because they released merch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
he signed with TNA, but TNA and NXT have got like some agreement where like their talent's going across shows and things across companies.
Sure,
so they've come back and they're hoping, and apparently the rumor is they'll do a main roster run around some like their summer, so our winter. So
Nice.
that'll be cool, and hopefully one last run
Like
that ends well.
He's still fucking got it. He's still like nowhere near what he used to have, like the agility and stuff, but he's still a fucking maniac.
I mean, if you want to
man.
talk about it though, like still look at Mysterio, like he's one of the oldest going, and it's still like he carving up with the youngest on
and
the
he
roster.
still looks good.
Yeah.
too.
I was because I watched a little bit of the Rumble. Now that everything's
It wasn't
on
a
Netflix.
great Rumble.
It wasn't great,
It
but
wasn't.
just it was probably me dipping my toe back into it after quite a long time.
Fucking Trish Stratus came back. Oh my God. She walked out and I was like, Jesus, Trish Stratus.
She still got it.
Yeah.
It was good to have a watch, and as you said,
Yeah,
like
I
Rey
think-
Mysterio was one of the first ones caught my eye, and I'm like, he's still fucking going, he's still getting around.
I definitely think having it on Netflix is going to help bring in like the more casual viewer, especially here in Australia, considering it's been on Foxtel and that a lot. But like I know previously, you basically had to have a network subscription to watch most of it.
Yep.
So
I think it'd be interesting to see how they sort of advertise moving forward, because I know like previously you'd have like, right, you had Wednesday Night Raw, like I know here it was Wednesday night, even though it was Monday Night Raw that we used to get it, and then followed by SmackDown, and they used to advertise it's upcoming and this is when it's on. I haven't seen much of that on Netflix so far. It's kind of hard to advertise.
it's usually
but-
just on those, like if you're on the home screen and it's sort of like timed out after what you're watching, it'll appear up with all the movies and things that flash
Yeah.
around. So it is there. It's just usually if you're logging on to Netflix, you're logging on to watch something. You're not there to let it time out.
And
so.
that's what I think might be one of the issues that Netflix will see. I think that people will, if people are going there and watching WWE, like they're going there to watch it, you won't get many people stumbling across it, if you know what I mean.
I don't. And another thing is, I know they have ads. I just don't know if Netflix has ads. Unless I know in America you've got to have the extra bonus Netflix sort of thing. I think
That's the
to
same
watch
here.
it. Yeah, I just haven't watched any of it to see if it's got ads here in Australia.
I've
so.
watched some of it. It's doesn't irritate you at all.
Yeah, okay.
Because they take breaks in the show
Yeah,
anyway
yeah.
when the ads are on and stuff. But I've watched some Raw episodes, some SmackDown episodes. Watched pay-per-views. I enjoyed it. It's good. And I've watched a couple old Rumbles as well.
The old ones are super
Fuck,
nostalgic to
man.
go back for some of it.
94 and 95, I think it was, when Shawn Michaels won. Oh, fuck, they were great Rumbles, man.
Was that his first one or the second one? Because
He won 2 in a row.
Yeah, so he won 2 in a row,
He
yeah.
won once against Stone Cold, I think, and once against Diesel.
Yeah.
And the one against Diesel was great because Diesel came up and like to shake his hand and he fucking just sweet chin music, knocks him out, and then they get up and shake hands and hug afterwards. It's fucking, it was so good. Let's continue on with more news.
Sorry, I derailed it. Bro.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this before, but a remake of Starship Troopers is in the works at Sony.
I have heard about this. It doesn't need to be remade.
No, it doesn't. It was a great film. And I'll throw one quick one in there while we're talking about wrestling, because I unfortunately did not know this. But fun fact, John Bernthal, a.k.a. The Punisher,
Yes.
is Kurt Angle's nephew.
I saw this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had this
yeah.
talking today. I didn't know.
I had no idea. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, because I listened to his I watch his podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he had
Kurt's.
Kurt on there a couple of times and talks about it all the time. Yeah.
It seems good.
Okay, this one isn't news, but this is a fan theory, like a fan theory, like chucked out kind of thing. I love it. In Back to the Future 3, Doc Brown mistakenly goes back a long time and ends up in a galaxy far, far away. This action accidentally creates a religion known as the Mandalorians, a mistaken interpretation of the phrase "man in DeLorean."
That is now Star Wars lore.
I love it.
Canon.
Yeah, it's canon. It's canon.
That wasn't where I thought you were going to go with it, but okay. I heard another fan theory too in the middle of the week. It's a Rugrats one. that all the kids in the things aren't real. They're a fiction of Angelica's mind.
It's been
That's
kicking
the whole
around.
one,
Yeah, I only heard it for the first time.
Kicking around for quite a while. It puts a very, very dark spin
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
like
Rugrats.
it. I don't like it.
It's one of those things where if you look at anything for long enough,
You'll find
you
something,
can
yeah.
come up with anything for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what happened here. People had way too much fucking drugs in their system watching Rugrats and going, oh, shit, man. Like, it's a great theory.
Yeah, it's
just fucking dark.
And I'm like, I like it. Anyway, so Clarkson's Farm Season 4 is out in about 70 days. I'm looking forward to that.
I look forward to that. Yeah, I love Clarkson's Farm, man.
Yeah, they're quite entertaining.
I've never actually watched it.
I do thoroughly enjoy the fact that it has brought so much attention to the agriculture
Yeah.
community in
Yeah.
England, and like it's actually done a really good thing for the agriculture community over there.
The end of the first season, he tallies up like this is the expenditure and this is what you get back, and basically all the profits he made, he had to hand straight to his business manager to go.
I think he made like $50.
Yeah.
the first year or something like that.
And then it only got worse after Brexit because like all the government rebates and like European things that they had to supplement the farmers got taken, will be taken away if they haven't already. So
And he won an award from the agriculture awards people for like essentially bringing attention to the community
Yeah, right.
kind of thing. So yeah.
but his farm or the village he lives in, fucking hate him.
So much hate him.
Well, I suppose that's why it's entertaining.
Yeah, because
television.
he tries to do stuff to make money and like help the community, and they're like, no, you're not allowed to do that.
It's literally like the problem of
Set in their ways.
every like person wants to start their own business. The red tape you have to get through to do it's like, I'm trying to benefit you guys, but you guys are making it really hard to bring like, you know, infrastructure and money into your little town. Like,
And like he doesn't act like Top Gear style Clarkson. He's very like he does everything properly. He goes and does the meetings and stuff.
He's got his moments, but
Yeah.
like it's a lot more grounded. But yeah, it's funny but factual and
his moments are when he's on his farm.
Sure.
Like reversing into things and like not doing things in a straight line. And it's like it's the dynamic between him and his guy he's hired. Who's,
Because he is a local farmer or
Yeah,
something.
Caleb,
he is hilarious because he knows nothing. Like he's full like you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah.
like he knows nothing about the real world.
He hasn't left the farm. He went on a school trip to London. Didn't get off the bus. He's like, it scared me. I stayed on the coach the whole time.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Continue on.
This is one for those Star Wars fans. We'll continue in that vein. But Andor, we've got the release dates for its season 2. We've got the 22nd episodes 1 to 3. April 29th, we're getting episodes 4 to 6. May the 6th, we are getting episodes 7 to 9. And then May 13th, 10 to 12.
It's just a fucking missed opportunity, Disney.
So what was that, man?
May the 4th. Come on, guys.
It'll be their particular fucking day. And they would have sat with it.
So,
but yeah, you're right.
Was this the new Mando season?
No,
Andor.
Andor
Right.
season 2. Because if you haven't watched Andor, it's one of my favorite Star Wars TV shows. It was
Yeah, I probably
really fucking
will.
good.
I'm just there's so much fucking shit to try and watch and catch up
that's
on.
true.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is a rumor. Apparently, it's official because everything's official these days. It is confirmed that American Pie 5 is in development and brings with it a plot that could change things in the Friends story. Stifler's mum has passed away and the whole family will be gathering. Apparently, the central plot of the movie will be that Stifler's mum has died and all of the Stifler characters from previous movies will be in the same one. The entire cast returns, including actors who have played Stifler's relatives, blah, 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 blah.
And everything gets left. Is it Finch? Everything gets left to Finch?
That would be fucking hilarious.
That would be
Shipwreck.
great.
Yeah, Shipwreck and takes it all. That would be great.
Start the movie with that. And then just go
And
from
that's
there.
the season. So this is a rumor. Well, apparently it's not a rumor, but I have a feeling it is. But Has Been Hotel, which we talked about last
Yep,
week.
season
has been
3 and 4.
greenlit for season 3 and 4.
That's true. That's not a rumor. It's official.
It's just the picture I had.
Yeah,
looks
because it's posted at their because they do like musical events and stuff like
Right,
that.
yeah.
And yeah, I think pretty sure it's posted at one of those events.
Yeah, because it's just the sort of layering in the photo was like, is someone just overlaid the Has Been Hotel photo over the top of this? But
right.
yeah, I'm glad it's true because it's a great show.
A great show. Even if you go on YouTube and look at watch the Hell of a Boss,
Yeah.
which is the show they made before Has Been Hotel, and it's kind of that same vein of the demons and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really enjoyable.
It's an animated show that Lisa thoroughly enjoys and has actually like spruiked it to other people to go and watch it. Like
Very good.
So
and it's got what's the name? The Brooklyn Nine-Nine chick in it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I always forget her name.
Rosario.
Rosa is the character in Brooklyn.
I can never remember. Yeah, but yeah, she's one of the voices in it. It's a great show. And the art is fucking awesome.
On the note of arts, Magic the Gathering Spider-Man crossover. We have spoken about it before, but they've revealed a whole bunch of their cards, and they look so good. So I will probably
the only
be
thing those
unfortunately
sets,
spending
the
money.
secret something I think they called the sets they do. They're fucking expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They look very good though. And I'm a sucker for that sort
Yeah,
of shit.
we have adult money, so that doesn't stop us.
Final Fantasy's out at the moment.
Yes, it is, but I'm not as fast on that one. But yeah,
The Scarlet Witch Lives. The new issue of TVA number 3 reveals that the TVA captured Wanda and she survived the events in Doctor Strange 2. The comic is canon to the MCU.
nice.
Interesting.
Because I suppose that was always one thing that you never seen from memory her die per se. Like I know that you see it
something
collapse,
drops
something
and
is
and then you
shown.
see the red blast coming out.
Yeah, and you're kind of like, well, that was that.
I mean, it was deliberately done so that if they wanted to bring it back.
exactly, and that was sort of my thought. I like because whenever you want something to hit home, you fucking see it happen.
Yeah.
and that was always one thing I felt with that movie. Like a brilliant movie, but I always thought if she's dead, then they fell short a little bit. Like because you just didn't get the impact of it.
And the counterpoint to that is they could have shown her dead because, I mean, they're bringing back other characters in different ways through multiverse and stuff.
I
So,
mean, it's comic books. So it's not hard. No one ever dies. No one dies forever.
Exactly.
I think we might have talked about this before, but if not, I'm happy to bring it up. The John Wick spin-off focusing on Donnie Yen's blind assassin Kane is officially in the works at Lionsgate now.
Yeah, that's been talked about a couple of
I'm
I
keen.
still cannot wait for Ballarat, but it's fucking July. It doesn't come out till.
Yeah, but there
God, they started advertising that early.
are some movies coming out between now and July that will keep me...
it's already March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but still. I thought it was like next month it came out.
Mickey
But no.
17's out now. I'm keen for that. There's some movies to come out this year. Like, I'm excited to go to the movies this year.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
No problem.
Yeah, sorry for that one, fans, if you heard AJ then.
Anywho, moving on. We have the first concept art for Jocasta in Vision Quest, which is kind of like the female Ultron sculpt, so to speak. It looks fucking sick. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It looks fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Essentially, it's a sexy Ultron.
pretty much.
He's back. Livewire Insider confirms that Apocalypse.
Every time I see those he's back, I'm like, I've seen too many of these now. I just have to get going.
Apparently, Apocalypse will be in Secret Wars, and not only that, but will also play by Oscar Isaac,
Yeah.
meaning he will play 3 characters in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I've seen Apocalypse being brought back as The Rock as well.
The Rock.
So
Yeah, the
amazing.
Rock. Point. Yeah, fuck that. Do not make the Rock Apocalypse, please.
Well, keeping on with the Marvel theme there. So apparently Doomsday has been reported will have a runtime of over 3 hours.
Nice.
To bring in the expansive narrative with the cast of like RDJ, Anthony Mackie, everyone.
I wonder if they'll do. A split screen. Split the movie. Actually, do like a intermission type thing. Because it's been a long fucking time since there's been a 3-hour movie brought
There was
out.
a movie that just did that. I can't remember what it was, but there was a movie that had an intermission in it. I can't remember what it. Yeah, it was one of the Oscar bait ones, I think.
Look,
Yeah.
Brusos,
I have more.
throw it in there.
I have more. So Doomsday is set to release on May 1 next year, 2026, and will set the stage for the sequel Secret Wars, which is rumoured to be split into 2 parts, which will have a combined runtime of about 5 hours.
Okay.
This approach
Yeah, okay,
underscores
that's
Marvel's
fair.
commitment to blah, 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 blah.
Because the Secret Wars as
yeah.
well, they were talking about doing them both within like a short span of each other from memory. Because they were bringing out like
it wouldn't surprise me.
Doomsday, and then like
Yeah, I think they're all being filmed basically back to back.
yeah,
'Cause
and 12 months later, Secret Wars, and then like 6 months after that, the part 2.
Yeah, I think in terms of filming and production, I think it's all happening relatively quickly.
Makes sense.
And then just being spread out.
Solo Leveling Season 3 has been greenlit at
I need to
A1
watch
Pictures.
it. I haven't got to yet. I finished.
I still haven't started Season 2 yet, but Season 1 was fucking awesome.
I just finished Dororo, so I'm keen for a new anime.
Gaming news, and this is some of the most. This will make me buy a console. Guitar Hero is coming back, baby.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Okay. Do we have the art or the concept or whatnot for the controllers? Because the last controllers they brought out for that was shit.
Yeah. But no, apparently Guitar Hero is coming back with a new game after 10 years.
So a Twitch streamer.
Now, for you young kids out there, Guitar Hero was a game where you had a little plastic thing. You went, when you played the games. That was the noise it made.
It definitely didn't make that noise. It was far more
was more-
click-clacky.
it was
But
more
anyway. Yes, there we go.
And it wasn't amazing. The amount of nights we spent drinking beers, just playing Guitar Hero for like hours on end, man. And they had the drum kits.
Yeah.
And, it was so good. I have Clone Hero on my computer with a 3D printed guitar. And it has like over 6,000 songs on it. But a new one would be great.
What used to be so fucking funny is if you were the designated driver. So you'd end up going to a party where Guitar Hero is naturally just broken out at every single party that I was at. So it was there playing in the corner. You watch him, you're just like, oh my God. And then someone would go, oh, he can play, he's not too bad. So you jump on sober as anything, watching all these drunk people. Simple. Like it wouldn't even be one of the hard ones. It'd just be something simple. You go through, hit everything. You're like, okay, cool, next. And everyone's like, oh my God. You're like,
So-
no, you're just fucking hammered.
To go to the other end of the spectrum of skills, so a Twitch streamer has just completed on Guitar Hero 3 the song Through the Fire and Flames, which is apparently one of the hardest songs released.
Yep.
He's completed at 200% speed at a perfect critical run. It took him 9 months straight of attempting it
It was
online
a
to do
little
it.
while. It was last year, I think you finished it, because I remember seeing a thing
It's
about
only
it.
literally just started to be spammed like in the last 2 weeks.
I'm sure that I seen it a little while ago. Like,
that might have been
watched
him attempting it.
Nah, because it was when he got it.
Right, okay. Yeah,
Because
I know.
I
I've only
know-
just started to see it, but yeah, and like articles and that have just started coming out.
It's fucking nuts.
Maybe
I'm
it's
pretty
only
sure
just hit
my mate Bushy
mainstream
got
media.
100% on it, but not at 200 speed.
No fucking way.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty intense, like 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
some of the parts you did, I'm like, I swear you're just button mashing and hoping to God
That's
here.
literally what it was. Like the entire intro was hit one note, and,
And
then,
then
fucking you just had to piggyback it.
But then you also, the newer guitars had the touchpad that you could touch and you could slide your finger up and down. Just tapping
I
buttons.
think this was one of the OG ones, but from what the video showed. But yeah,
Oh God. Fuck, where are we up to?
my turn.
that's on you. Oh no, that's
my
on
turn.
Zachary. Yes.
So apparently,
Half hour in already.
mate, frantic. It's what we are.
Everyone knows what they're getting.
This is true.
So apparently, although there's been several reports, Tom Hiddleston doesn't know if he'll be back as Loki for Doomsday or Secret Wars yet.
Oh god, the amount of times I've heard he is confirmed.
Yeah, I've seen a thing about like a season 3 Loki as well, and him coming into I don't know.
I don't believe any of it until it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. George Miller teases a new Mad Max film.
He's been teasing that for a while, hasn't he?
But he said that they've got another script. They just haven't been doing it long enough. I'm habituated to storytelling. I find myself with way too many stories.
Good on you. So I've got two that sort of interact with each other. So Gundam Assemble, which we've talked about, which is the new miniature game for Gundams coming out. 2026 release, apparently.
Oh, I thought it was this year.
Early 2026. No, you can get, when the TCG comes out, there you can get the 4 starters with a miniature in them. But the actual game isn't coming out until 2026.
Because that's July. But I thought the game was coming out could be out by like a month or two. But I thought it was around December this year.
And the other piece of Gundam news is Secret Labs releasing limited edition Gundam seats.
AJ will have one of those within 24 hours of release.
2. He's got to have a spare. For when he
They're very good.
He'll have one of each.
They are
They're
quite
very
nice.
good.
One for Brock,
Yes.
Dragon Ball Super. So with the conclusion of the Granola, the Survivor Saga, Black
Frieza
Frieza is
Frieza,
the next
baby.
major villain.
Looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to see something new, but it pulls at the nostalgia strings.
It does.
So
Well,
anywho.
I think that's up to that. In the manga's already out for that. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
So I'm pretty sure
You're the
manga's already
manga
out,
expert
so-
on this table. man.
I haven't even gamed to read Dragon Ball, man.
I've got the whole thing at home. Sitting on
Because I don't think
on the bench,
because Dragon
shrink
Ball
wrapped as a
Z
collector.
wasn't a manga.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Dragon Ball just the manga, and like Dragon Ball Z happened in the Dragon Ball manga.
No, I don't think so. Because I've got the Dragon Ball Z manga at home.
Because I know they released like comic book manga versions, which I've got some of, but I always thought it was in Dragon
Look,
Ball.
you're probably both right.
But I know Supers don't manga.
Yeah. This is just a little bit of an excitement for myself, but the new season of The Last of Us premieres next month. Fuck yeah. So looking forward to that.
done.
And you know what?
I've got one more.
I'll throw this one in there just to piggyback on your American Pie thing because Stifler's mum was played by Jennifer Coolidge. She wants to be in The Bear. I would play anyone on The Bear.
Yep. I reckon she would fit in that show. I reckon.
She fucking would, wouldn't she?
Yep.
She'd just be that chaotic sort of character, whether she comes in as a customer and then just like is a return customer type thing or whatever. But
I think she'd be a great customer, or she could probably be like the manager of or the owner of a different restaurant that's competing against them or something like that. Because I reckon she could be a hard bitch if she wanted to be.
Oh, yeah, she can do it.
Yeah.
Well, so the last thing I saw her in, which I'm sure there's been more since then, was Two Broke Girls.
Oh, yeah, no, she was in White Lotus. She was really good in White Lotus.
She was good in that.
Or the first season, should I say.
She was in the second season too.
Was she?
Yeah, because she went back to
never watched the second season.
I have watched some of it.
So I've got one that's just been released. So breaking news from a few days ago. James Gunn's Superman just had another test screening and reactions were hugely negative, with many comparing it to Josh Trank's fan Forstick. Reportedly, they are very bearish on the movie now. The studio.
So I would love to know which Zack Snyder fan wrote that.
And about 3 minutes later, I seen another one that came through saying this is one of the best pieces of cinema I've ever seen.
Yeah, at this point, just release it. We'll go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, last one.
All right. This is one that I actually pretty excited about because I didn't know it was coming. But Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are going to be in a new
Simple Favor too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be called Another Simple Favor.
Yeah,
and
it's
streaming
on Prime. Yeah, Prime. Yeah,
May 1st.
Yeah, the trailer looks really good.
So I haven't watched the trailer. If you haven't watched this movie, go and watch it. It is fucking incredible.
It's written and directed by the same guy that did Bridesmaids and all that kind of stuff. Right. It's a great film. Really, really good. It's like a comedy thriller. It's awesome, and the trailer for the second one looks insane. It looks like it's going to be great. Okay, on to
other stuff.
A little piece of fun. All right, so everyone knows that around the world.
You weren't having fun already?
If you're listening to this as it comes out, you'll know that the award season in America has just wrapped up for all the Hollywood stars.
Are you announcing the Razzies?
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Razzies.
I know one movie that won quite a few.
Okay, so
that's right. Because you throw it out, we got to see who it would be.
That's
right.
Who do we think it is? Screenplay, worst screenplay: Joker, Folle, Craven the Hunter, Madam Web, Megalopolis, or Reagan.
Joker.
It probably is going to be the Joker. I'm going to go with Madam Web just for how much I hate that movie.
And drum roll, the winner is Madam Web. All right. Pretty cool remake, ripoff, or sequel.
Sorry, I went too soon.
The nominees are The Crow, Joker.
Oh, that was so bad. I ended up watching that the other week. That was shit.
What, The Crow or The Joker?
The Crow, it's so bad.
The Crow was bad.
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter, Mufasa, the Lion King. And in my opinion, one of the worst things ever put onto film, Rebel Moon 2, The Scargiver.
The Joker.
You already know this one?
Yeah, that's what I knew.
Joker wins this one.
I think he's wrong, right?
Okay. Screen combo. Any two obnoxious characters, but especially Jack Black, Borderlands. Any two unfunny comedians, Unfrost. The entire cast of Megalopolis. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, Joker, Folle Adieu. Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller, Ronnie and Nancy Reagan.
I'll just say that Joker's probably doubled down and got this one as well.
All right, we got a Joker from Brock.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
All right, the Joker is the winner of this one.
They tend to stick to a common thread, don't
Yes.
they?
What was it last year? It was like all Five Nights at Freddy or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right, worst director. S.J. Clarkson for Madam Web. Francis Ford Coppola for Megalopolis. Todd Phillips for Joker F2. Eli Roth for Borderlands, or Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted. This is a tough one.
That's great.
That's harsh. I'm going to go with Madam Web.
Madam Web. Okay, so you're going for S.J. Clarkson from Madam Web.
I know that Coppola got a shitload of flack for Megalopolis, but I will go with Joker.
Okay, and the drum roll is... You are both incorrect. Ooh. Megalopolis takes the win for worst director.
I know that he...
What was Megalopolis? I don't think I've heard of it.
It's Francis Ford Coppola's last film. He paid for it all out of his own money. It's a retelling of the story of Caesar, essentially.
Yeah. Right. In modern times.
It's all over the fucking place.
Right.
So the idea was take Caesar to current times or current-ish times and sort of tell what he's trying to do over his rule and what. I haven't actually seen it. That was the concept, and it doesn't look great.
Okay, so we have worst supporting actor: Jack Black, Borderlands; Kevin Hart, Borderlands; Shia LaBeouf,
supporting actor in that one.
Shia LaBeouf in Drag, Megalopolis; Tara Rahman, Madam Web; John Voight for Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers.
I'll go for that one because he doubled down on a lot of movies.
Pretty obvious who won that one.
I'll just say Jack Black until the end one.
Yeah, John Voight won that one. Okay, this one is a tough one. Worst actress: Cate Blanchett, Borderlands; Lady Gaga, Joker for the year; Bryce Dallas Howard, Argyle; Dakota Johnson, Madam Web; or Jennifer Lopez, Atlas.
Who was the Argyle character?
It's the main chick in Argyle.
I don't think she was too bad. I'm going to go with Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett, Borderlands.
Because she was fucking horrible in that.
She was also the main character.
She just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and therefore she was fucking horrible.
Yeah, when they don't give a fuck, it goes one of two ways. Either it's brilliant or it's not good.
I'll go with the there was a Megalopolis one there, wasn't there? Or no?
No. There was Jennifer Lopez, Atlas; Dakota Johnson, Madam Web; Bryce Dallas Howard, Argyle; Lady Gaga, and Cate Blanchett.
See, I thought Lady Gaga did it like it was a bad movie, but she wasn't bad in it. I'll go with...
she looked to be the only one trying.
Exactly. Madam Web.
I'm going to go with, just as a caveat, I don't want it to be. I think it's my character, Blanchett, but I have a feeling it's going to be the Argyle chick because it got flacked.
Okay, and the winner is... Madam Web.
Boom.
All right. Worst actor, so male actor: Jack Black, Dear Santa; Zachary Levi.
He wasn't bad in that. Like
I haven't seen it. I wanted to. I just didn't get to it.
It's fine. Like it's not great. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Zachary Levi, Harold and the Purple Crayon; Joaquin Phoenix, Joker; Dennis Quaid, Reagan; and Jerry Seinfeld, Unfrosted.
Again, Jerry was fine. It's that acting that suited that style of movie.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. Joker.
Yeah, we'll go with Joker. I reckon.
And the winner is Jerry Seinfeld, Unfrosted.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's doing these awards.
That's harsh, guys.
Okay.
That's harsh.
The worst picture. This is the big one.
Madam Web.
Joker.
Borderlands. Joker for the year. Madam Web, Megalopolis, aka the WTF, the movie, or Reagan.
Joker.
Because they put in WTF the movie makes it seem like that one's going to be it. I think personally Madam Web, but I think
the movie that won worst picture at the Razzies.
It's Madam Web. He's so happy. He's so happy.
The most deserving film of 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
Web, guys.
The pile of shit that was close up. Madam fucking Web. Fuck you, Madam Web.
I wonder when that'll get remade.
Next year.
Who knows?
Even just the ending was so just bleh.
It was just a pile of shit, and it deserves everything it fucking got.
Pretty much.
All right, that was the Razzies.
Cool.
That was the Razzies. So
I actually didn't. Last year when we did the Razzies, it was absolutely belting through my feed. I didn't see anything about it this year.
I just saw the one photo, and that was basically the two that the Joker won for shitty remake and shitty two characters, whatever it was they won.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's get on to
TV shows.
That one.
TV shows.
TV shows. We're going to talk about Daredevil. I was going to say Deadpool, but I didn't.
Spoilers.
There are fucking spoilers.
Yeah, look, I know what we're going to do.
Okay, well, before we get into spoilers,
let's do our unspoiler review.
Unspoiler review.
Episodes 1 and 2 were good.
Yeah.
Episode 1, emotional, heartful at the start, and then sets up nicely. Great ending for with some imagery to touch on what's going to happen throughout the show. Cool. So episode 2 I think is good. It's going to set up the rest of the series. So yeah,
I have only seen episode 1, as I said before the show. Like I've seen episode 1, about 5 minutes of episode 2, so we'll just kick through it anyways, and I'll just cop the spoilers. But I overall thoroughly enjoyed the storytelling through episode 1, but there's other things that kind of I fell short.
Okay, that was our spoiler-free review. If you don't want to hear spoilers, skip forward some time. That's a spoiler warning.
Why do we have sound effects? We've got AJ.
Let's get the sound effects back.
my favorite part about this whole thing was the fact that for the last 6 to 8 months since they remade the series from the original shit pile that apparently it was, Foggy's back. Yeah. Foggy's back. Yeah. Oh my God. He dead, motherfucker. He dead.
It was so funny because like as you said, like they're going to be in it. They're going to come back. Like I sort of had this feeling like they won't be there straight away. They might get him like a little bit, like episode 2, they might bring him in or whatever. And then seeing him straight away and I'm going, oh fuck, they're going to kill him. Like that was the first thing that went through my head as soon as I seen both of them. I'm like, those two are about to fucking die. How are they going to do this?
But as AJ said, they hyped it up so much they're coming back. I was like, oh, he's been shot. Oh, clearly he's not going to die here. Like I
thought it was brilliant because they've done it perfectly. They've built up this massive amount of hype around something. They gave the people what they wanted, and then they just fucking gave an absolutely massive emotional pull in a different direction. Like that's what you want. You want to evoke emotion from these types of things. So that was brilliant.
So to spoil your spoilers, apparently Mr. Fulton Reed himself, the former character that he played, has confirmed he'll be in season 2. Yeah. I'm assuming that'll be some form of flashback or something, more than likely. But
no, he might be brought back to life.
Yeah, never know. But apparently
there was there was a thing that brought Elektra back in the Defenders.
She's been brought back to life many times. I'm pretty sure.
Within this MCU though, like as in Defenders, she died and actually got brought back because she was meant to be the fist of the hand or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, so Karen Page is there and obviously leaves as a result of Foggy's death and Matt's spiral at the time and appears back halfway through episode 1 and that's all we've seen of her so far. And I'm assuming by the way it's going that she probably won't be back very much.
And I feel that's probably the same with Bullseye as well.
Yeah.
I do fuck that fight scene was fucking awesome.
I had
like him just like some of the special effects were pretty shitty.
Yeah,
that was my problem.
But just like the way like the sound effects and everything whenever he throws something, it's like boom, hits him, and you see Daredevil. He's got like 4 knives sticking out his back and 2 out his front, and he gets the thing and goes knocks him out of himself.
What I loved about that is you're exactly right though. You heard all that type of stuff happening and you've seen sort of throws and whatnot, but you don't actually really see them hit him so much until you get a clear shot of them two like up the stairs, just kind of going, oh fuck, and then he turns on an angle, and as you said, he's just got porcupine. He's just got fucking knives all up the front.
My favourite 2 throws was his intro when he throws the paperclip to hit the fly. That was sick. And then as they burst through the sliding doors into the pool table area, he throws the pool ball, and you go, oh, you missed the chick. No, he didn't. He rebounded it 3 times and hit her in the neck. I was like, that was sick. I just love the way of the nonchalant just flick of one behind to get the person who was behind him, and then the other one just flicks at the wall. Like the way that whole thing happened was sick. For me, the thing that really fucking got me was not actually Foggy dying, because I think they drew that out too much. I think if they shot him and he died, it would have just been like, fuck. The thing that got me was when after he died and Murdoch had like his little scream and whatnot up on the roof, and then he just goes and drops Bullseye off the roof. I'm just like, that fucking happened. I'm like, that for me. Why did he not die?
Because it's Bullseye and he's a character who's needed in the future.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't know.
It's better to have him in jail than kill him.
Exactly.
Only because most people fall off a 4-story building, whatever it was.
Yeah, but I think he had an operate surgery or something.
Like, did he have something somehow that like? I think
so.
There some backstory to the character I was missing?
Know.
I think
I've never been a big Daredevil fan, comic book wise.
I've got this weird
I have a feeling it's in the series, the original 3 seasons. So I'm rewatching them anyway. So hopefully I'll find that out.
Yeah, there you go. You can come back to this in a couple of weeks.
And then the last bit on that too is as he drops his mask off. Did you notice that one of the horns is broken and forms a perfect D? And it's focused every time you see even in the intro, it's there as well.
Yeah, there you go. Well, on season 1,
episode 1?
Episode 1, yes. My absolute favorite thing of like, I loved the episode. It was great, but my absolute favorite thing was how they showed his hearing when he's sitting in the bar and he listens to Foggy's call. It goes from panoramic, like, you know, widescreen to it zooms out as it pushes into his ear, and then as it goes into Foggy, the black lines come down and like come further than they would normally sit, and like it was just so
It was
beautiful.
well done. It was
Really
super
fucking
well
well.
done.
So beautifully
and they
done.
do it. I think they've hit the nail perfectly with those type of stuff, and they'll get trinket like trickled through
Yeah.
the whole way. Because I mean, even when he hears the announcement about Fisk winning the mayorship, like you just see that like the twist, the head twist, where he just sort of pops it to the side a little bit. You're like, oops, something's going on, and then the way the sound just kind of eases into it, because they haven't just gone, oh, he's heard everything and now he knows. It's that element of, which they're doing really well, of he hears a hint of something.
And then he's got to focus.
And then he has
Yeah.
to focus.
Yeah.
And I think that is coming across so
you
fucking
hear
well.
that jumble of noise
I
and then
do-
slowly filters to
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
I do love how they've portrayed blindness in this. I've always felt in the first couple of seasons they never really nailed him being blind.
Because he's not.
Well, he is.
You know what I mean.
Because there's
He
certain,
sees a world of
there's
fire.
certain things that even with his ability he wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
because he's blind.
Right.
But there's like a couple of little things like in this couple of first series, like there are things that he does and he's like, nah, that wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to do it. It's just this little things in this one with his cane and stuff like that, and the way he holds it and the way he touches certain things and does. It's just little tiny
It's
things
probably
that I'm
something
like,
that
fucking
they've had time
nailed
to reflect on and improve since the first season too, since it's come
potentially.
out, and like obviously there probably would have been people giving that sort of feedback to improve those little things.
Personally, I didn't pick up on it.
No,
like
I-
previously,
yeah.
I've just always thought it was done in a way that was enough to
No,
fool the
there was
people.
nothing anything wrong with it, but it's just in this season I've noticed it a lot more of.
But you know-
it's really good.
I
You
did
know
like
what
how-
it might also be more of as well is that it might actually be part of character development, because in
true.
season 1, 2, and 3, that's him starting his Daredevil arc.
Yeah.
So prior to that, he was just a blind guy getting out the street. And then he starts to get into that realm of like being Daredevil, going out as a vigilante. So he realizes that maybe there are some things that he needs to hide within his blindness or show more of him being blind rather than what he was doing previously.
And especially
If that-
considering
if
at
that
this
makes
point
sense.
now, like he in this point of the show so far, he's put Daredevil behind him and he's put the cowl away and that sort of thing. So he's not using the skills as he once did. So he's probably allowing the blindness to take over more.
Was it episode 1 or episode 2 where they have their conversation? in the
Episode
diner?
1.
That was fun.
That was great. That was great.
Oh,
conversation.
at the cafe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just how they've
was so
been
good.
being super cordial to each other, really nice and stuff, but then little jabs at each other and just,
And just the threats from both of them at the end of just like said so calmly and politely and just like, yeah, we can fuck each other up if we
D'Onofrio,
wanted to.
he's such a good actor, man.
What
just the little nuances he puts in
Yeah.
there.
My
Yeah.
only critique I have with him this one, and it's a very, very small one. There was one scene where the way he was speaking, all I could see was his character from Men in Black 1. That's all I could see in here. I was like, other than that, I'm like, this is perfect. There was just one scene, I'm like, oh, that's right.
What I've loved so far in like having seen just episode 1 is that it's kind of like, it's not them putting on a show to just sort of put a show in front of you, so to speak. Like it's almost like real interactions that you're a part of, almost, if that made sense. Like that whole first bar scene, like I didn't feel like I was watching a show. I felt like I was a part of something. It was really weird the way that was happening. It just felt like I was listening in on conversations that were happening.
So they've
on the screen.
always done that well with the Josie's bar scene. Like even in the first season, like Josie's bar felt like you were part of the bar, so it was good.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed everything. Now I have two questions. First one, it's one question with two different people. Cherry and then whoever the other lawyer chick is. Are they these two big characters in Marvel? 'Cause-
Couldn't tell
Not
you,
yet.
man.
okay.
I
Couldn't tell you.
don't
As I said
think,
before, I'm not a big Daredevil fan.
Yeah.
I don't think I've read a single Daredevil comic, to be honest.
I know Elektra's Daredevil at the moment. Well, she is a Daredevil. I think there's 2 Daredevils. What was your other question?
So that was really, it was two questions about the same thing, really, just two different
okay.
people. But my other thing is the end of the first episode.
So it was one question, but
Two people.
Sorry.
So at the end of the first episode, I thought, this is my nerd moment of how it was made. The imagery with the white light flickering on Fisk at the top of the building.
Yes. Loved it.
And the red light flickering on Murdoch on
Showing
the
their
ground.
colours.
Yeah, showing their true colours coming through and knowing that white
beautiful.
will quickly turn to black sort of thing is what I got from there. So yeah,
Loved it.
it's great. And yes, and episode 2 really just sets up those two going through their things, and Kingpin is now mayor and trying to put on the mayor face, but deep down he's gonna fuck shit up somewhere.
So-
And Daredevil will come back and be Daredevil. So
The thing that I picked up from it, which again, the imagery, and I loved all of it, like the darks and the tones and whatnot, but I picked up Kingpin has a long way to fall and Murdoch's got a long way to go up.
Yeah.
Again, like I picked up on that.
they will meet in the middle at some point, and
Something to that extent, like either, but it's one of those things where either Kingpin's got to come down to Murdoch and get down to that level, like that sort of metaphor, so to speak, or the other way around. Like,
I think it'll be Daredevil rising to actually be the savior that city needs. Once again.
So it's episode 2. We won't go too much into it because I don't want to ruin it for you.
I've got
It's
one
fine.
quote I want to bring up.
One of episode 2 is pretty much the setup for the season.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's setting up the main sort of storyline, which is basically it starts with a dude goes into a subway. There's another guy getting beat on by two guys.
I've seen that. And, the last thing I seen was the gun gets pulled and says NYPD, motherfucker.
Yeah. So he is White Scar.
Okay.
You find
White
out
Tiger?
White Tiger, whatever it is.
I kind of figured
And
that.
essentially, Matt is trying to get him out of jail.
Sure.
They can't find the dude, and the episode pretty much ends with. I mean, I've just spoiled the whole episode. The episode pretty much ends with Matt in the apartment of the guy that was getting beat up, and the two cops come in, and
They're in on something or
Matt
whatever.
pelts the fuck out of them.
Yeah, because they're about to shoot him basically.
And
defend
one of the
himself.
hands, he pins him against the wall, and one of the hands has the Punisher's symbol tattooed on it. And that's pretty much the first episode.
I say
So
second episode.
for everything that you said, the only thing that's actually surprised me was the Punisher symbol on the arm.
So I'm going to say it's kind of a vigilante within the police force kind of group.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Robins in Dark Knight Returns.
I was like, the only other sort of storyline thing that was brought up which you probably would already guess too, with Fisk becoming mayor, is the cops are against Fisk.
Yes.
A large portion. But then they're also against Murdoch because he's defending a cop killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is a quote that I just thought was full badass in it, is Fisk is trying to, generate optics and, now that he's mayor and try to make himself look good, and he's stuck in traffic, and basically they're trying to have a meeting, and he just walks out to the construction worker and is like, what the fuck's taking so long? He's like, waiting on this red tape and this to get past this part to get approval. He's like, consider it approved, and they just start building straight away. I'm like, that's fucking badass.
So that's Daredevil, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen it? If you have, put it in the comments below.
Yes.
We'd love to know your thoughts on it.
And if you haven't, go back and watch the first 3 seasons, which I actually think you do need to watch if you're new to Daredevil and such.
You do and
If
you
you're
don't.
if you're new to Daredevil, it's good, but you don't need
You don't need it. You kind of get the general. They kind of give you enough information in the first episode to get you through what's kind of happened.
Yeah, and to just because one of the big things is just getting an understanding of the fact that Murdoch and Fisk, like, they hate each other more or less, and
And they're fully aware of who each other is.
Yeah, I think the bits that you wouldn't really pick up is around Bullseye, because he sort of just turns up and does stuff. And then the White Tiger, but that's all new stuff anyways.
One of the things, if you haven't watched Echo or Hawkeye, you don't really know. I think they're more important to watch as to Fisk's point than the original Daredevil. It's because why Kingpin wasn't there and why the wife's taken over the organization and stuff, and that's all because Echo shot him in the face at the end of Hawkeye.
Which they do a nice little callback in there.
I got shot in the head.
No. It was I tried to. You got any kids? No. What about
that's
you?
right, yeah.
No. I tried mentoring. It's like, I heard that turned out with you getting shot in the head. Or didn't she shoot you in the head?
Did she shoot you in the
Kids
head?
these days, what are you going to do?
Kids these days.
Was Echo then not in the first 3 seasons? Because didn't
No.
Fisk have someone like that in the original 3 seasons?
No, so season 1 was essentially Daredevil versus Kingpin.
And it was kind of like a Daredevil Rising, so to
Yeah,
speak.
season 2 was essentially the Hand and Elektra.
Yep.
And then season 3 was Bullseye.
Yep. But it was Fisk pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
Fisk came back and all that sort of stuff.
I just had a feeling that like Fisk had some like they thought there was Fisk's daughter or something throughout it. So, but maybe I'm just imagining things. I'll find out when I rewatch it anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think so. I can't remember, but I don't think so.
All good.
But yeah, so they, as we said, if you liked the first episodes, tell us what you thought in the comments. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. Personally, I think it's going to be a great season. And what we 9 episodes we figured out before.
Yeah, I think it was 9 episodes. I thought it was 8, but it looks like there's 9 episodes coming out.
There wasn't originally going to be like 23 episodes
Oh,
or
I don't know
something
about
from
that.
memory, the original version.
Don't know.
Or
They
some
must have been
shit.
doing like little fucking 20-minute snippets or some
Yeah.
shit. Fuck. We would have got the opening scene. There's episode 1.
Yeah, it ends with Foggy dead.
So for me, as you said, really enjoying it. I just I'll be interested to see some of the next fight scenes because the fight scene itself as a whole fell short for me between Daredevil and Bullseye.
I feel was that because of the special effects?
Yeah.
Because when they came in with the smoke and like it just looked very CGI-ish.
Yes.
I wonder if that had something to do with like reshooting and things. It was just
Maybe.
easy to do it that way than
Maybe.
get everyone back into it. And
I don't know.
'cause
Like
maybe I'll say the fight scene in episode 2 was
Fine.
like original Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like that was great. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to what happened last week with Zach giving us the idea to come up with some character that we created. Although after the episode, Zach's gone, the fuck was that, guys? Like, that's not what I asked you. And we're like, yeah.
Actually,
so what did you
was.
actually ask us?
It wasn't my...
What was the idea? The original
the question you actually answered correctly as I went back and reread my question. The intent was not what I wrote. The intent was, as I said, as a new person getting into the world of comics, trying to find like a best of sort of thing. So create your ideal Batman or Superman, or choose a superhero and like what's their ideal villain arc or what's their ideal power arc and things like that, and like mix match all these different arcs together and create your ultimate Batman version. Yeah. The question I wrote though was what you guys answered: design your ideal superhero. The wording wasn't great.
The wording was
wrong.
Wrong.
But in the end, we got 2 very good ideas, and it's a mistake I'm happy I made because I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the conversations out of your mouth, not what that was.
Yeah. So I've actually, since last week's episode, I've sat down and I've fleshed out ideas for 6 arcs. I've written a full script outline for arc 1, and I've started writing the actual script for arc 1 for issue 1. But so my comic will be called Resonance, is the name of the comic.
I like the name.
And I've fleshed out like all the angels aren't called angels; they're called other things. Like the planets are all called different things. Like Earth is called Terminus.
Yeah, I read that
Humans
part of
are called
it, yeah.
Echoes. All this kind of stuff, and it's pretty fleshed out, I must say.
It'll be coming to a bookstore near you in
September 2026. He's got deadlines.
yeah.
I better get fucking started.
That's right.
I have lots of ideas swimming around in my head. I have not written a single one.
So
Just remember, for those of you who out there who are like comic book producers for Marvel or DC or anything, you want to buy ideas, you can come buy
come to
ideas.
us. We're full of them.
Yep.
Some good, some bad, and in between.
All right. So since the question wasn't the one that was meant to be answered, we thought, you know what? Fuck it. Zach has to answer the question that we answered. So Zach, take us away and intrigue us with your original character.
So I struggled to get started because every idea I came up with had been done in some form, like
Probably in The Simpsons.
probably yes, or an anime. Like for instance, I wanted to do like a food power. But then I was like, no, wait, that character is literally done in My Hero where he eats foods and takes on those sort of characteristics. Eats squid, gets like tentacle fingers and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, can't do that. Tried to do a few other things. I'm like, nah. Ended up settling on an artifact as the superpower.
Okay, yep.
So a la Green Lantern ring, but different thing. Once I started, oh boy, did I fall down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's good fun. isn't it?
I got some ideas. It started to flow.
Welcome.
Yes. So
I spend a lot of time there.
my superhero is called Solus, and that will make a lot of sense as I get started.
Okay.
So the world, it's the realm of Australis. So basically, it's a mystical, futuristic world where there are celestial fragments known as astral relics that fall from the skies. Myth and legends would tell you that these relics would used to be able to grant those who bond with them unique supernatural abilities, but no one has bonded with them in a long time. Kingdoms have arisen and fallen over their control, and ancient orders guard their secrets.
So Solace as in SOLACE?
SOLIS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because Solace, I'm like, I've heard that before.
Oh, okay.
A pimp in Times Square where Luke Cage often confronts.
Very different. Very different. And then, so the relics also have the power to imbue their powers into artifacts, which can be used by anyone. The world is divided into floating islands, each governed by its own unique relics, some granting elemental powers, others bending time, space, or even the fabric of reality itself. Only those who prove themselves worthy can attune to the relic's power.
Okay.
So basically, it's all about these celestial fragments that have crash landed onto it. My backstory. So
This is very D&D so far, I must say.
excellent.
Which is funny because you don't play D&D.
I actually feel like this was very anime towards the end of it. So like,
At the moment, it sounds very much like a setup to a D&D campaign.
excellent.
Yeah.
So Solus was born an orphan in the drifting markets of Lunaris, a trade hub where relic hunters and mercenaries barter for powerful objects. As a child, he barely survived an attack by the Duskborn Syndicate, who are the main villain group in the show.
Okay, man, this is like so D&D.
It's a cult that worships corrupted relics. In the chaos, Solus stumbled upon a forbidden falling star relic, an object so powerful that even touching it should have shattered his soul. But instead of breaking him, the relic bonded with him, marking him as a starbound, being prophesied to bring balance to the world of Australis. With a newfound cosmic energy coursing through his veins, Solus set out on a journey to uncover the truth behind the relics, protect those who can't protect themselves, and stop the rise of the Duskborn Syndicate.
Is it named Tiamat?
No.
We can't give him shit. He's doing what he did.
I know,
He's-
like it sounds
it's
really good.
very funny. Like I love the fact that
So the word...
it sounds so much like a D&D campaign, but you don't play D&D. So it's not.
I had notes upon notes, and basically to put them down into something presentable, I put them through ChatGPT. So all my ideas, I just got them to spit it out into something nice to say.
Yeah.
So that might be where the D&D spin is
That's highly
coming
possible.
from. So the power of the relic. So this is where I think it comes anime-esque into it. Is here the
Does
power?
he get yellow hair?
No, I'd want to leave that for Brock. No, the power grows with him. So I think that's where the anime sort of.
How do you mean?
So as
So-
he becomes more attuned to it, he gets
as
stronger.
it goes
or
through,
whatever.
like he gets stronger and the power sort of evolves with him. So like as most anime arcs start, the character usually starts out pretty weak and towards the end like grows and develops that power. So that's where I think it became more anime-ish for me rather than comic. It
Unless
wasn't
you're One
just
Punch Man.
yeah. That's all you need is one punch. So the Falling Star grants Solus control over different powers. So the main power he uses is the Star Shard Blades, where he can summon glowing energy blades that change shape depending on his intent, from twin daggers to a massive sword. Then he's got other abilities as he levels up, so to speak. So the Meteor Step, allowing him to dash at blinding steps, leaving behind after images that confuse enemies. The Nebula Cloak, effectively making him invisible. Gravity Singularity, creating a miniature black hole that pulls enemies inward before detonating with radiant energy.
I like that. That's a good fucking attack.
And then the ultimate form, the Astral Eclipse, temporarily taps into the relic's full potential, becoming an embodiment of the cosmos, gaining flight, enhanced strength, and a time-slowing effect. But then as this became very much like star-themed, I put in the drawback of all stars have a limited energy source. And so the more he uses it, the relic feeds off his lifespan. So the more he uses, the closer he becomes to a dying star, like a star would once it uses all its power.
This is actually, it's got similar threads to Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive and the way that they bond to Spren and are actually able to gain powers via the bonding and whatnot, so they can get the weapons and whatnot and in different forms and stuff like that. And it is like the extent of that is brilliant, and it's obviously got a couple different things in there, like the gravitational thing. Like that's pretty damn sweet.
Yeah,
But
and that's where like I thought of it as I started. I was like, oh, this is definitely being influenced by my anime background. Is like characters. I said, Goku, for instance, starts off without any power, so to speak.
power level 120.
Yeah, and then slowly throughout gains all his new forms and things throughout the show.
It's over 9,000.
It's so funny going back and watching that. You're like, they've got a few more zeros in that now, don't they?
I remember.
It's had a stat
I
squish.
remember when Z was out. I had a chart and it had all of their power levels on it. And I just remember you look at Goku's and it starts off with this tiny thing, and then like by the end of the Cell Saga, it's like 1,800,000 blah blah blah. You're like, yeah, okay.
to the power of 24.
Yeah.
The villain. So the main villain is called Lord Noctis. So hence Solus being sun, Noctis being night.
Okay.
And he is the Eclipse King. So he is the ruler of the Duskborn Syndicate.
I like that name, actually, the Eclipse King.
Noctis is the only other being to have bonded with a falling star relic at the current time.
Okay.
But he has been corrupted by the void. He seeks to consume all other relics to bring forth the eternal eclipse, a moment where all light is extinguished and he alone will wield absolute power. His void relic allows him to absorb light, bend shadows into weapons, and erase existence itself.
You know what I kind of like? I'm going to throw something completely fucking left field and probably derail your whole thing. But, he said how like they can absorb the light and get closer and closer to like the a dying star and whatever.
Yeah.
What if Noctis, like his background or his arc was that he was good, and this is pulling from what I was writing the other week, but then he went too close, and then that's what actually shifted him to the like he lived through
possibly,
it.
Yeah.
And then anywho,
Well, I said I have an
September 2026. Get writing.
I have an arc that sort of explains something.
Okay.
Or the loophole anyway into the weakness. But
Sure.
So allies are basically he's just got three sort of mates he picks up along the way. So Elia, the relic seer, she's a blind oracle who can hear the whispers of relics and guides Solus on the quest. Tarek, the iron nomad, a former relic hunter who wields the gauntlet of titans, granting him immense strength and the ability to manipulate metal.
Yep.
Loom, the skyborn thief, a rogue who possesses the windswept medallion, allowing her to control air currents and move with supernatural agility.
Avatar.
Sorry, I've got something stuck in my throat there.
So the reasoning for here is the main character is star and space and things like that, and his psychics are more
I get
grounded.
why you've done that. Yes, I get. I understand that, but still, as soon as I started hearing you say, because you said it last time, I think it was one of us was talking about it. You've gone. It sounds like Avatar.
That's fine. It's hard not to be
I
an
know.
element and not be Avatar.
As soon as you say elements, you're like, it's fucking Avatar.
So basically, his costume is something sleek and battle design. So basically, it's armor, like a midnight blue to black with just a few sort of highlights of color throughout.
Sure.
I feel like it should be like small armor, like that sort of really refined, tiny,
not chunky
super
sort of thing. Like
armor,
almost like bodysuit, like thin sort of thing. And then as for the mask, it's like there's just a half mask covering his face. But the thing I did like is as he ascends into his ultimate form of power, he gets like a halo ring of light around his head. Just something, his gold hair version, effectively.
Sure.
The power thing kind of reminds me of Gurgen Lagann, I think it's called. The one, essentially it's like eventually, like by the end of it, they're in a ship that is the size of like 20 universes kind of thing. And like they're fighting other monsters that are the size of multiple universes and stuff, like that power progression.
Yeah.
That way you spoke about it kind of reminds me of that. I'm pretty sure it's called Gungan Lagann. It's fantastic anime. It's really, really good.
Yeah. I'll check it out. I haven't really heard of that one before, but sounds fun. So he's like moral code sort of thing. So I had him being sort of basically a warrior or a guardian of the relics. And basically he's got to walk the line of being the good guy, using his power to defend itself, but then also he's got that moral code within himself of if I go too hard, I will kill myself. So that sort of self-preservation arc in there as well. And then I've got 4 storyline arcs basically written out in order. And again, this is where my sort of anime background, I think, came into it a little bit. So the first one is just the Starbound Awakening. So it's basically his origin arc, how it comes to be. Him finding the relic, bonding with it, and then having his first real altercation with Noctis.
Yep.
The second one is the Relic Wars, which is kind of then just building out the rest of the world. So going in and him like traveling around, and there's
Getting his mates.
Yeah, basically, so they infiltrate the Citadel of Crimson Lords, and they've been hoarding all these relics and things like that and using them to stockpile to basically take over the world.
Fire Nation.
Yes. There you go. Knew it was coming there somewhere. I knew I had fire. I just couldn't remember where I put fire. There it was. 3 is the Eclipse Rising. So this is the fall of Astral. So this is Noctis enacting his plan and Solus defeating it. And then the 4th one is the called the Ashes of a Fallen Star. Basically, they're trying to find a rumored celestial well that allows him to re-tap up his relic with new power. And then I had it sort of ending there, but on that sort of cliffhanger note of him staying behind on this planet with the thoughts of it's probably not going to work, but you don't know what happened. So allowing him the series to either end gracefully there with him on sort of the relic homeworld, or come back later on because he's been recharged and ready to go.
So are you thinking more anime than comic?
As I started, it was a comic, but as I've gone through it and got through, I was like, this is more like an anime manga style thing than a comic.
You just go manga.
So there's a couple of tropes we're going to have to add in there.
That's fine.
He has to have been from Earth, and he somehow gets mystically teleported there, but you never get told why.
Tiamat.
Star-Lord? Star-Lord? Is that where you were going there?
No, there's so many animes where
that's true.
We appear in a fantasy world. How'd you get? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just playing a video game. Yeah. Is he going to have a harem?
No.
Okay. Why would you watch that anime then? I like it. I do. I think it's good. I think your sort of explanation of growth and stuff.
Yeah, I think it mixes a few things that are very good, like like we said, that sounds like D&D, that sounds like Avatar and whatnot. But I mean, the way that they've combined together to be able to sort of come through, I think that's an awesome combination.
Well, that's it. Like
I love the Solus and Noctis component. I love that, light and dark, and the way that it comes through. Like, there's a lot of tropes that go down like the...
And that's it. And so you could continue this out with like void arcs and things like that as that sort of touched on there with Noctis. But yeah, my biggest problem was starting once, because every power I would start coming up with ideas for something. I was like, it's this character or it's that one. So I struggled. And it's
that much out there though that
it's hard not to.
You're always going
pull it
to
from
have
something.
Exactly. I mean,
at some point, every song has a part of Sweet Home Alabama in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think you need, at some point, probably in like the 3rd arc, but most likely the 4th arc, you need like some big reveal that's like super duper fucking shocking. And I reckon it should be around the shards that they are reincarnated humans, or like they actually are parts of a god or something like that.
That's where I kind of got the idea from.
That ties back in again what I was talking about with Brandon Sanderson and his like Stormlight archive, because the idea is that all of their monetary thing, which is like gems and like crystals and whatnot, they're infused with Stormlight, but that Stormlight is basically spren that have been trapped within the crystals and whatnot.
Okay.
And then the people who I've gone blank on what they're called, but the guys who become bonded with these particular spren, like higher spren or whatever, they're able to tap into the storm light and use it to do fancy shit, i.e. fly, float, all that sort of stuff.
So I was kind of getting it from that anime I was talking about, Gelfnir, the other day, where the one where they get powers and stuff. Because in that, it turns out that the coins that they use to get their powers are actually
the
souls of aliens, and it turns out that the aliens, they do it because the aliens wanted to bond with the humans, because they grow into a point where they just given up on living and stuff.
I sort of tinkered with that, with like actually being like, the stars are powered by souls, and that's why like Noctis is trying to take over and something like that and like he's the bad guy. So hasn't gone because
I know what they could be, because you are calling them stars and all that kind of stuff. They could literally be the souls of every living being in a collapsed star system.
I was just you went further. I was just going to say like the souls of collapsed stars.
No. Every living being that was in that system and that died because of that star collapsing, it's essentially sucked up all those souls into one
the more
refined
powerful
thing.
The shard is because it was a like more populated system.
So he goes through thinking these powers are a great thing, and it just turns out that he's using, and that way as well, when he has to go overboard to push the limits to use more power, he's essentially destroying more souls.
Yeah.
So that, like, when he finds out that that's what's happening to him, like, it torments him as to, I've got to do this, but I don't want to kill more souls because they won't get reincarnated or some bullshit.
Yeah, and so the idea for the celestial
September
fragments,
2026.
the celestial fragment idea came from effectively the Celestials in Marvel with those sort of characters dying. For me, it was like, one of them had died some on that planet or in the space above that planet or whatever, and those were parts of him that had landed down on Earth or on the planet.
You could make it a little more simpler than like being the souls of all that space, but like maybe each galaxy or each revolving around every solar system. Sorry, like the sun is a celestial, and that's where the collapse is. Like it's a single celestial
I was
soul.
just saying,
I think you need, because even like at that point, it's only you're risking a thing, a singular thing.
No, that's good.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he needs that torment, especially
so
as he gets more powerful. As to if he's so powerful, who gives a fuck?
I'm going to go AJ's, but I'm going to put it in reverse. So each fragment is a living star, and therefore once you use up that power, you kill that star, which then wipes out that system.
Yeah,
it's the star system's soul.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's like for some reason they live. All these fragments have been collected by someone else that's gone around and collected it, and that ship crashed on this planet, allowing all these fragments to land there.
So essentially, the more he uses it, the more like the heat and light from that sun would shrink and kill a planet.
Yeah, until it turns into a black hole.
And you can have an arc called the Keepers, and they're the keepers of the souls or whatever those relics are. And
that would be effectively that final one I had where they go back and he sort of learns the origin of the stars and things like that. Or actually, no, he might learn about that in the end, like the final battle with Noctis, where Noctis has that big reveal, and then the last season is him trying to figure out how to save his solar system that he's linked with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reckon that last season just jumps the shark too, because I love that when animes do that. They go from fairly planted to we're fucking going mental right now, like Dragon Ball Super. It's like always been like Earth and like alien planets and like nothing ever super over the top. And then you get to Super, it's like
parallel universes.
Oh no, giant gods, parallel universes. Oh no, we're having a fucking galaxy dimensional wide tournament now. Fuck you all.
That will wipe out every other galaxy. I've just lost what I was going to say. It was actually pretty cool, and I've lost it because you sidetracked me. I'll get it back. Continue. Talk amongst yourselves.
No, we were done. You're on the spot now, Zach.
It's something to do with power. He's connected to. So he's come from Earth, and he's able to merge with that relic because that's the relic from his solar system. With your trope of him teleporting from Earth and magically appearing on this planet, that's how he's got there. So effectively, he is sort of meant to be the keeper of that relic to look after it on Earth. Yeah. But was taken.
So each person that has a relic essentially is a guardian of that that realm.
That's why only certain people can bond with it, is because they have to have been from that solar system for that specific fragment.
And it's pretty standard that Earth doesn't know shit about what's going on outside of Earth, because I mean humans are very self-centered.
Yeah.
So therefore, like all these other places know about the what he is. He's a keeper, but he doesn't know, and other people know of keepers and like the Celestials and whatever fucking thing we've got.
The only issue with that part is that kind of ruins the big surprise down the line of what the stones do.
Because at this point, at this point, only him and Noctis are currently bonded. No one's bonded for like millennia. It's sort of the legend that people used to be able to bond with them, and it used to be everyone was bonded. Now no one is bonded, and basically the fragments just sort of, if you're lucky, it sort of imbues power into an artifact, and you're able to use that like what his colleagues have, like the gauntlets and win medallion and things like that.
I like it. I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it.
We were meant to read it.
I'm happy that it's an anime. I'm happy that it's an anime.
I would watch, read, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Nice work, bud.
Sweet.
I like it.
What
do you guys think at home? Did you like Zachary's tale of fantastical worlds and billions upon billions of living sentient beings dying.
It started
In
friendly
true
and
anime
ended
fashion.
disastrously.
It usually does.
And it all finishes with a Beyblade battle.
Definitely.
Beyblades
How
are
else-
back at my school. They're fucking everywhere.
Really?
Beyblade, there's so much.
Lucky you.
Me and my son play, man. Beyblades are fucking so much fun, man. Like I rip them so hard to it. It goes, and then like as soon as they touch, because they're going so far,
they fucking
just
explode.
One of them,
Yeah, they're not
flew
built-
across the other side of the room.
They're not built like they used to be.
and they're metal. They're chunks
Yeah.
of metal.
Fucking hell.
It
Good
won't
fun,
be
man.
long until AJ's customizing his to have like razor sharp edges and
I've
What
already
do you
looked
mean,
into 3D
won't be
printing them.
long? I can, see, there you go.
I just imagine a 3D printing one though. As soon as they touch, they'll just literally explode in
Yeah.
thousands of pieces.
Yeah, just let me know when you're doing it because I want to watch
Yeah,
it.
it will be entertaining as
I will watch it behind a plexiglass screen.
Oh, yeah, because they will explode.
Yes, they're good fun. I highly recommend it.
Full of resin still.
So, what? Anyone been watching anything new?
I've
Anything like
watched
that?
two things. I've watched Brothers, the movie we discussed
Oh, yeah.
the trailer of towards the end of
Yes,
last year.
I've also seen that.
Yeah, it had potential. I think it was just
It was enjoyable. It was nothing special.
it was short yet rushed.
Yeah.
There was. Yeah, I don't know. It was.
It was just,
I don't know.
It was just whatever. I
It
don't know.
was. It was. It's watchable. Like it's enjoyable to watch, but I wouldn't go back and I wouldn't be telling people you need to go see it. Like
It's one of those movies where I got to the end of it and I'm kind of like, why did those two guys do that? Like, because it was Brolin and Peter Dinklage, and you're like, oh yes, sweet, fuck yeah, let's get in, let's watch, let's see what they come up with. And you get to the end, and I really was just like, did they need some extra money?
I feel like the idea was sold to them, and then like budget cuts, cut everything, something like that. Like all the budget was spent on them too. Like and Glenn Close.
Because even from a trailer perspective, like because I remember seeing the trailer, I can't remember thinking anything great about it, but I thought, oh yeah, there's some funny bits in there. Maybe they've held some stuff back and whatnot. They didn't even hold anything back.
No,
Like, you sort of-
it's unfortunate. It was a movie where even the parts that were held back, you could just predict what was coming next. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to happen and this is going to happen.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
orangutan though was fucking wild.
that was
Yep.
that was probably the one thing they didn't have in the trailer, which you can understand why.
yeah, absolutely. I can understand
but
why.
it wasn't funny. It was
No,
just
it was
cringy and
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Very fucking cringy and
Brendan
weird.
Fraser, I thought was great in it.
It's because Brendan Fraser is great and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I've started watching Suits LA.
Oh yeah. Any good?
Excellent, really good.
What's it on? Or have you
TV.
been?
One of them, the fun websites.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd be watching. On.
Then I also started watching a show called Good Cop, Bad Cop. It's a comedy
Yeah,
show with
I've seen
Leighton
the trailer
Meester
of this,
from
yeah.
Gossip Girl. Really enjoyable. It's quite fun. It's got Clancy Brown in it as their dad.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, that's Mr. Krabby and also the big baddie from the original Highlander. And he's Starship Troopers.
He was also in Penguin.
He was too. Yes, he was Falcone, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. What else have I been watching?
I'd say I'm up to the final episode, but I've just hit the big reveal of the season 4 Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, no, don't tell me. I haven't
I'm gonna
started
say-
season 4 yet.
But it's it's quite good. Lot of cast. They've
Yeah.
upped the budget with the
Yeah.
casting there.
Big one.
Fucking there's a reveal in like the second last episode with just another character bring like, holy fuck, how did they get him in this show? And this is another one where it's like, what are they getting out of being in this show? But this is a good show. I quite enjoy it.
I've just caught up to where Dan is in the manga.
Oh yeah, I finished watching Dan to Dan.
Wait, what?
I'm up to where the manga's currently
Oh, so
up
you're
to.
up to
in
date with the
Dan
manga,
Dan. And yeah.
So
there's some good shit coming in the anime.
So on the note of Dan to Dan, there was one episode, the episode where you've got the athletics. What is it? The athletics entity. I can't remember what they called. The ghost or the. It's the one. She's got the wild hair and she flicks the hair around. They call it like an athletics. Whatever, poltergeist, whatever.
Yeah.
So
The dancer chick.
yeah, the dancer chick. So that episode, you watch that episode and you forget that you're watching Dan to Dan.
Yep.
I thought that was absolutely wild because I was watching it and I got so drawn in. Like it is an emotionally heartfelt. It's pretty heavy episode and everything. And you watch it, you get to the end of it, you're kind of like, oh, that's right. They're trying to get some kid's testicle back. And like the way that they were able to make you completely forget the premise of what you were watching and take you on that emotional roller coaster. The fucking creators behind this, that is genius. Like, you can't do that.
I'm pretty sure from memory it's our dude. He writes and draws it.
I was going to
so
say,
good.
You go from that scene you're talking about to like 3 episodes later where they come out of the demon world over in the underwater world where they've stripped off all their clothing and then
exactly like
all of a sudden they appear at this in the school hall, always stacked upon each other, wet and naked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and for the way that this one episode like just took you completely away from all of that, I thought that was incredible.
Well, coming up, without spoiling anything for those people, coming up we've got Kaiju, we've got Mecha Buddhas, we've got
And I'm here for it all.
we got maid cafes, we've got
Basically every anime
xenomorph
trope.
style aliens, fucking giant lizard, giant worms. Oh fuck! There is so much, man.
And it's fast paced too. If the first season was anything to go by, like
the manga, dude, it's like you're in a couple of chapters of fights, and then it's out, and then the next fucking thing happens, and the next fucking thing happens, and more balls, and by the end of the manga where I'm up to, there are now 3 additional cast members.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So at the moment we've just met the
3.
4th at the end of the season.
Yeah, so you've met the dude.
Yeah, the dude comes at the end.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if he was going to hang around. or
I'm
not.
assuming so because he was in all of the trailer.
Yeah, okay.
The opening sequence.
No, I skipped it every time.
Yeah, I can't spoil what happens for you.
Mate, I love it.
Yes, he is a main character.
It is a great intro, but I watched it once, like the first time, and then after that, I'm like, I'm good.
I
not watching it.
I would skip it after the dan part ended. Like dan. Stop. All right, skip.
Watch the film clip for the actual thing. It's quite an interesting film clip.
Couple of random things I have been watching. Definitely not in the nerdy realm, but they were actually pretty good watches. Friend Like You, I think it was on Prime. It's a New Zealand drama series. It's good, weird, gets into sort of those tropes of a small town and like sort of keeping whatever's happening within the family and whatnot. It's a pretty wild ride about, it starts off basically with a girl who is pregnant and it's her 4th kid, but she's having this kid for her best friend, and at the end of it decides to keep the kid, and it sort of that sets off the rest of it with a couple of like lingering things in the background, but I won't spoil anything else. It's not too bad of a watch. I enjoyed it. We smashed out however many episodes there were in an afternoon, Shannon and I. And Toxic Town.
So I've seen
that was good.
Seen that.
That was really
looks
good.
good.
Yeah, highly recommend that one. That was
I'll watch anything with Jodie Whittaker in it.
yeah, good watch. Like all about a town in over in the UK. Can't remember where exactly, but a little town next to.
Affected by some form of poisoning.
Yeah, basically poisoning in the air, like via the dust and whatnot. It was one of the first cases that was they actually got a compensation for this type of pollutant in the air in like the 2010s, 2011s, thereabouts. And it's all around that town and what happened. Really, really good to watch.
So is
Again,
it sort of on the line of like Dairy Girls?
I don't know Dairy Girls.
No.
That's like a comedy
It's
or
serious.
something.
Dairy Girls
This is a
comedy.
Right, okay, that's what I said. Like,
No, this is serious.
this is true story.
The idea was behind it was like Dairy Girls is a comedy, but still set with the backdrop of a very serious thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
happening with that sort of-
this is a serious show.
Yeah, serious show, true story, all that type of stuff. That was really good. There's some shows we're watching. But, yeah.
I was going to say, Dororo, it's got 24 episodes on Prime.
Dororo.
It's an anime I think you will quite enjoy because it's less of the flashy sword fights and things throughout like I thought it was going to evolve into, and more of a storyline and like emotional moral battle you see throughout it where basically a good guy sort of turns bad to sort of protect his city and like go after his brother who's just trying to get back what's his. So
Cool.
it's definitely more of an emotional sort of pull to it.
Well, there you go.
think I've seen
That's some fun facts, some fun stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Frantic Nerdcast.
Yep.
We will be back next week with more random shit that you probably didn't really want to listen to, but you listen to anyway because you're really nice people.
And fuck, you loved the journey.
That's
Who
right.
doesn't love this
And
fucking
who
wild
knows
journey?
what we'll create next week. We've
That's
done
it.
comic books. We've got to create something
Oh,
else now.
please
So-
don't give us something else to create.
No, I'm just saying in the near future we'll have something.
Yeah, but make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Share it with your friends so they can subscribe.
Yep.
We're still trying to get to 50. We'll get there one day.
Yeah, so follow on all socials as well, our Instagrams and things like that. We're up and running and yeah,
Where we post regularly.
Define regularly.
I post when we have when we don't.
Once a month.
It's quality over quantity.
That's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you listening if you got this far, and we will catch you next time on the Frantic Nerdcast.
Cheers, guys.
Hey, guys, thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.